are going to have Mikkel. Where's Mikkel? While Mikkel's coming up, I want to mention, by the way, that I forgot to mention this at the beginning, a huge thank you to everyone who applied to speak. I told my husband, like, how can I turn any of them away? I want all of them to speak. And he's like, well, that will be your whole event. I don't think that should be the whole event. But anyway, I really, really appreciate everybody being willing to speak. Let's let Mikkel take it.
Hello, I am so excited to speak today, and I believe you all that it's really cold in here, but I'm like sweating. I'm a sweaty mess, which is why I wore white, because I knew this would happen. I'm no rookie to like excessive sweating, but because I am a VIP member, I know that sweating is totally neutral, right? It's not a problem. It's just the way that my body is telling me that something exciting is about to happen. Right? So if you feel like I have like sweat stains everywhere, it's because I do. Anyway, I am excited to share with you the greatest lesson that I have learned this year in the program. And I want to share a personal experience that I've had in the last couple months. But before I do that, I want to introduce myself a little bit and hopefully add a little bit more context to my story. So about 2 years ago, I met my husband right here in Orange County. And a couple months later, we were married up north in Sacramento. Now, about 5-6 weeks later, I took a pregnancy test. And I found out that I was 6 weeks pregnant. So we had a very eventful first year of marriage. Now, I am not going to be TMI or give you any more details than you would ever want to know, but we have crunched the numbers, and we're pretty sure it's like day 1 or day 2 that our family grew to 3. So, needless to say, we had a beautiful honeymoon baby who we love so dearly, and there was a lot to learn within this first year of marriage. But, side note, I'll tell you the best thing about having a honeymoon baby is that anytime anyone asks you, how many weeks have you been married? Or how long have you been married? I could break it down into weeks, into trimesters. Which is pretty cool and really surprising for most people in my 3rd trimester of marriage. But anyway, it was eventful. I not only was learning how to share a bathroom with a boy, which is a challenge itself, but learning how to be an awesome wife and to cook things that are more elaborate than like cereal, and learning how to nurse a baby, and all of these things. But it wasn't until a couple months later, fast forward 11 months, that my husband started to experience seizures. And they became longer and more violent with time, and upwards of like 7 or 8 minutes. And each night, I would go to bed knowing tonight is the night I know I'm going to have to call 911. Our doctors advised us to always have our bags packed each night because they weren't supposed to be going on for this long of a period. Now, my job as the wife was I was the timekeeper, and I had to videotape them, and judging on how long it lasted, I decided whether we called 911. Awesome. Now, unfortunately, his seizures tended to be triggered by light noises and light, so that made nursing even more awesome. The second I heard my baby cry, I would try to run to the other room and hurry and get her and try to feed her with minimal light and minimal noise. Now, I held myself together pretty well at that point, I think. But it wasn't until he was hospitalized that I started to lose it. I can picture vividly this moment while we were in the hospital. The doctor said, we're going to need to monitor his brain. We need to see what's going on during the seizures. We're going to have to induce more seizures to figure that out. So while they're flashing lights in front of my husband's face, and he's violently shaking on a bed, and my phone is vibrating from a million work emails, and I'm holding my baby, who's of course just losing it and crying. I thought what I would like to call clean pain. I felt like I had a valid reason to start to lose that a little bit. So after a dear friend came to pick up my daughter, I got in my car and I just had a quick moment and I cried. And I thought, okay, this is the point where I have to decide how I want to show up as a person. And so I got up my phone, inspired by a lesson that Jody taught, and I decided to write a list of why I am the perfect person for this challenge. So I want to share with you the 3 reasons why I am the absolute perfect person to be married to a husband with epilepsy who's married in the first year and had a honeymoon baby. So, reason number 1 is that I have always been able to handle a lot of stress. I have a high stress threshold. In fact, after college, I moved to New York City, and I lived in Harlem the first year I met there, or the first year I lived there. So, as the saying goes, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. And so I really feel that all of these different types of events prepared me for this. I can handle it. So reason number 2, my husband is a pharmacist. Not only was I working with a world-renowned epileptologist, who even knew that was a thing, I didn't, but my husband not only could pronounce the medication that he was taking, but he understood what it was actually doing to his body. And I was a cheerleader in high school, all 4 years. We were the dream team. World-renowned epileptologist, a pharmacist, and a cheerleader. So, reason number 3, I have a stellar support system, and I have the best family. They are my own cheer squad, and they are varsity level. They know when to send a text message, they know when to call me, and they know exactly what I'm about to lose my mind and pick up my little darling daughter, Mason. They just know. Now, another thing that has really helped me, besides really writing out that list, is I like to picture, now I have no ecclesiastical scripture or any support that backs this up, so bear with me for a second. But I like to picture right before I come down to earth, while I'm sitting in heaven, the Heavenly Father gives us a quick recap of what's going to go on. And this is what I imagine. He says, listen, Michelle, you're going to have a husband that's going to have some really wacky and nutty health problems. It's going to be within your first year of marriage, and it's not going to get fixed for a really long time. It's going to be kind of scary. It's going to cost a lot of money. But he says, listen, just you wait. You are going to have an amazing family, and you are going to be blessed to handle a lot of stress. Are you in? And there's me with hopefully like thicker hair. Yes, I'm totally in. I can handle this. So the reason I wanted to share this today is not because I think I'm any different. I truly believe that we are all the perfect people for our own challenges. And it's going to take a little bit of work. And it's going to take a conscious choice to think about how we want to show up in that moment. And I decided that I wanted to show up as a cheerleader, as a confident person who knew that this wasn't even a challenge. Yeah, maybe this challenge wasn't even a challenge. Maybe it's just an experience that refines our soul and makes us a human with grit. I'm all about that. So after making that conscious choice, I showed up as the person I could be, thanks to the lessons that I've learned here, and I'm so grateful for that. Oh, my husband's totally fine now too. That's good. Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. Where's our first Michelle? Come on up, Michelle.